Welcome to another video tutorial brought to you from uhackit.net. In this tutorial we're going to show you how to install and configure Anope services to run with Unreal IRCD. If you haven't already got the Anope installation package that you're going to need for this tutorial, you can get it from uhackit.net. It's in the chat software and obviously in the Unreal IRCD section, Anope services. And also along with that you will also find a full written tutorial to go along with this video. Okay, so now we have that, we're going to install Anope. So just double click it and run. Select our language, English. Next. And take note of the installation directory. For this tutorial we're going to leave it at the default folder, which is program files and Anope, but you may place this anywhere you like. And that's the installation complete. Okay, now we've installed it, we need to configure Anope to run with our Unreal IRCD. So we'll just go to the default location we just mentioned, local disk C, program files and Anope. Now once we're in here we need to go into the data folder and you will see the example config. I'll just increase this so that you can see it a bit better. Now we'll definitely take time out to read all of these. There's numerous options in here, but for this tutorial we're just going to set up the basics just to get us connected and get Anope services running. Although the others can be changed, they don't really need to be changed, so it's really a case of preference. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find the IRC module to tell Anope what IRCD we're running. Now we're running Unreal IRCD 3.2, which as you can see is there and is stated as Unreal 32, which is the default. If you're using a different version of Unreal IRCD or a different IRCD, change this as required. So once you've done that, just uncomment it and then Anope will read from that file. Next is our server information. So we're going to tell Anope where to connect to. So our remote server, you've got localhost, IP and password. So for this tutorial we're using a local host, so we're going to put our local IP in here. Obviously you put your IP in here of wherever your Unreal IRCD is based. So ours is 192.168.0.3. Most of the time it will be port 6667. For this tutorial we're using 555. But obviously this is to be configured with whatever your Unreal IRCD is running on. Now the MyPass, this is going to be used when Anope connects to Unreal IRCD to confirm who it is. Again, for the tutorial we're going to leave it as MyPass, but obviously when you're setting up this on your own server, change that to something quite strong. So now we're going to change our service name. Now the server name isn't really important, so you can put anything in here and it doesn't have to be a registered web address as such. So for example, for this tutorial I'm just going to put test.com, and this is just to refer to back in the link block of Unreal IRCD, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Now the last one is the service routes name. It's quite a way down near the bottom, and we just need to uncomment this and we're finished. So as you can see, services routes, it's keyed out, its default name is Dengel Anope, to which we're going to leave it as. So unquote that, close and save, and then we're going to rename this to services. And that's it. So that's Anope services now set up and ready to run. But first of all we have to configure Unreal IRCD to recognise Anope services now. So go to your Unreal IRCD main folder. This is where you will find your Unreal IRCD config, to which you would have configured when installing. So we'll open that. Again, you can use any text editor for this way using WordPad. Just increase the size so you can see it a bit better. So what we're looking for in here is our link block. This is to let Unreal IRCD know that Anope is going to be connected and what link it's going to be using. So as you can see, we've got our listen ports, and underneath that we have our link block. Now, in case you don't actually have this link block because you deleted it when you was installing Unreal IRCD and wasn't really ready to use the link block, so deleted it, don't worry. If that is the case, just go back to the Unreal 32 directory. If you go into Documents, you will find the original example config file, and in there you will find the link block. Simply copy and paste it here and then modify. So if you remember, we put our server name as test.com, so that's what we'll put in here. Again, the host name will be whatever IP your Unreal IRCD is or Anope Services is running on. In this case, again, it's a local IP, so it's 192.168.0.3. And if you remember, the port that we use is 45. Now this is where that password mypass is placed. Again, when you're setting up yourself, strongly recommend that you put quite a strong password in here, and literally only using a simple password because this is literally just for the video tutorial. Now we don't use an SSL connection. If you do use an SSL connection yourself, then leave that there. If you don't use an SSL connection, however, then we can take that away, to which we are doing. So once that's done, close and save, and that's everything set up. So if you go to your Unreal IRCD, just have to excuse that. So if we rehash, and as you can see, it's rehashed. Okay, it's now trying to connect. So if we run the Anope IRC services shortcut that was created when we installed, we'll double click that and we should get a connection, and there we have it. So Anope Services has joined the site successfully, and uakit.net, which is our test Unreal IRCD, has recognised that. Just to make sure, you just type /message nick serve and help. If an excuse me, if Anope is connected, that's what you will get, and that's actually Anope messaging us all the commands that nick serve holds. So that's all installed correctly. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any other questions or any problems installing this software, please see uakit.net and we'll get you sorted straight away. Okay, thanks again.